you guys? Welcome back to As Told by Kenya. In today's video, we have a few end of the month thoughts that I want to get out. Some things that I don't want to take into October. Let's discuss podcasts. I said this over on Patreon. Now it's time for me to say it in public. If I were to become president, Black people would not be allowed to have podcasts. Whenever you get a podcast mic sent to your home or try to set up an account on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple, or wherever you do podcasts, the FBI would come to your home soon after. Black people don't need podcasts no more. Yes, I'm gonna say it. Y'all are talking about nothing but nonsense on these podcasts. I already think content creation for Black people is in a bad space, from the popping to the balloons to people just talking about all types of mess all of the time. I just think content creation, honestly, I'm not even just gonna say Black people. I'm gonna say as a whole, because Andrew Schulz is in this as well. So no, just podcasts as a whole need to go. Whether it be true crime, by the way, even if I were to become president, the true crime genre will be going all together, because y'all know I don't got no respect for that genre. But podcasts altogether have just become a mess. And Black people, we really at the root of it. Now, what starts this whole thing? There's a podcast by the name of Shits and Gigs. I was not familiar with the dolls. I did not know nothing about their content. So don't come over here, Kenya. Oh my God. I didn't watch their stuff because I have set my algorithms up to which I do not even see podcast type of stuff. Anytime I am on Instagram, Twitter, or any other social media and podcast stuff starts to come through my feed, block, report, don't want to see this, not interested. I don't really get fed by the algorithm gods any type of podcast, because that's how much I do not listen to podcasts. And it's so interesting to me that podcasts will start off having a niche. They will have something they particularly talk about, and then quickly they all start to drift into the same exact topics being regurgitated. Like, I feel like there was a time where you did have Black people who had sports podcasts. You had Black people who had, talking about music. Then you had the pop culture. Then you had everybody had their own thing. But y'all don't feel like when it comes to the big ones, everything is starting to just blend right together? It don't feel like they all hitting on the same topics. Why the sports podcast talking about $200 dates? Why are the sports podcasts talking about hoes and bitches and who's sleeping with who? How does that work? When did we stop talking about music on the music podcast? All of a sudden, the music podcast turning into who's sleeping with who finessing who tricking on who. What happened to talking about the new releases? What happened to any of that? So everything has started to all blend together. Podcasts that was started with people just talking, about their life and friendship, they hitting on Meg Thee Stallion. What Meg Thee Stallion got to do with y'all growing up together? What happened? And so it's all becoming the exact same thing. And that's why I say we gonna have to take a time out. I'm not saying Black people can't never have podcasts ever again. I just think we need to take some time out and figure things out. We gonna have to figure out where we went wrong, and we gonna have to course correct, because none of it makes sense. Back to the Shits and Gigs thing, baby. Atlanta girls, this is what the Atlanta girls said. The Atlanta girls said Keith Lee can say that we got bad customer service and the only thing you get in Atlanta is hookah and drinks, but what you not gonna say is that we ugly. I know that's right. Atlanta girls, y'all showed up and y'all showed up. Them two men down at the Shits and Gigs podcast thought shit was sweet, and they started calling the Atlanta girls ugly. Like, why lie? I'm not from Atlanta, but baby, I know the Atlanta girls looking good. And not only do the Atlanta girls look good, the Atlanta girls are also trendsetters. Like, trendsetters when it comes, I'm gonna say all Black girls from the South. All Black girls from the South are trendsetters. You look at the way certain people dress. You look at the garments going down the runway. You see the hair, the nails. So much of that is Southern Black culture that has just made it to mainstream. The way that people talk, give it to my trans girls, give it to my trans girls as well. Like, Atlanta is a big part of Black culture, and you can't just sit up here and tell me the Black girls don't look good. You can't tell me the Black girls in Atlanta don't look good. First things first, you can show me Black girls from anywhere. I don't care if we in South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, the Black girls gonna look good. Let's start there. The Black girls are always gonna look there. But you try to play in front of Atlanta girls' face, baby, all it took was 24 hours. All it took was 24 hours and it was apology time. All it took was 24 hours and it was apology time. Here is my bigger issue. If we take this into a bigger scale, a lot of popular content creation is coming on the backs of making fun of Black women. A lot of popular podcasts that have men on it, a lot of popular talk shows that have men on it, comes with talking about Black women and making fun of Black women. And the thing is, it's so insidious because the people who are doing it don't even realize they're doing it. They're just doing what they see other people do and what has become popular. Calling Black women gold diggers, making fun of the way that they dress, making fun of their attitudes. That is such a big part of the Black social media space. And I was saying this when I was talking about the pop in the balloons content. Like, you start to take this stuff in and you start to read this stuff as normal. Talking about people's appearances, talking about people look. Are you broke? Are you rich? Are you ratchet? Are you ghetto? Are you hood? Are you like baby mama, baby dad? You start to take this stuff in and you start to think this is a normal way to discuss people. You start to think it's normal to discuss people based on how they look and who's sleeping with who, because it's all the content that you're taking in. And so when someone finally is just like, you don't think that's strange? You don't think it's strange that unprovoked you just started saying Black women in Atlanta don't look good? You don't think that's weird? That's when you're just like, whoa, maybe that is weird. It takes someone showing you that, hey, this is a little weird. But like I said, this is just a product of the times. You go down any of these little podcasts and you're just going to hear people talking terribly about one another. And like I said, it used to be a niche. You used to know you could go to this type of content to get the people who talk mess, but now it's just everybody. It's just everybody just talking bad about one another, and it's not good. It's not good on anyone's mental health to be a part of this. It's not good on Black women being the butt of the joke. I know this can only come from insecurity. People who beat down on Black women, it only comes from insecurity. Now, next thing, kikiing with Andrew Schulz will never be me. It will never be me. Baby, a lot of people, y'all are being introduced to Andrew Schulz, not me. I've been familiar with Andrew Schulz game since like Brilliant Idiots with Charlemagne. I don't even know if they still do that podcast, but I've been familiar with Andrew Schulz game from the very, very beginning. He is just one of those white boys who thinks like just cracking jokes in the name of I crack jokes on everyone gives him leeway to just say whatever he wants. The jokes are not creative. You can tell they come from other people. You can tell he's been around other people, and it's like, let me crack. And they're baseless. And I think jokes that are not based in truth is just bullshit. It's just absolutely bullshit. I think he's a hack. And so like, it was just all bad. But I just think this is a product of us having nothing to talk about on the podcast. And the thing is, if people were like 20 talking about dates and who cute and who not, I can give you that. Like, y'all are kids, y'all are childish, y'all be 30, well into 30, about to run up on 30, talking about looks and $200 dates. Black people, when we gonna get a little bit more serious? When are we going to start to get a little bit more serious? Like I said, if y'all were just on these podcasts talking about, the football team that you like, the music you like, perfectly fine. I'm not saying everybody gotta talk about reproductive rights. I ain't saying that's what everybody gotta do. What I am saying is we do have to be more serious of people. Speaking of being more serious as people, Offset come to the front. Baby, Cardi B and Offset. Did I even talk about Cardi B? and Offset getting a divorce. Cardi B and Offset are getting a divorce. I would love, let me step my foot in somebody else's marriage. I would love for Cardi B and Offset to get a divorce. I have long said this. If you follow me on Patreon, I talk about this a lot. I have long felt Cardi B has outgrown Offset just as a person. Now, I don't know these people because that's the first thing people like to say in the comments. You don't know these people, you don't know these people. Well, let me talk. Everybody else get to talk. Can I talk? No, I don't know Offset or Cardi B, but I just think as brands, they have outgrown one another. Cardi B to me is just doing way better than Offset. I think in the beginning, because the Migos were a little bit more established, Cardi B made her name through reality TV and social media. There was this idea that Offset gave her validity, but baby, we are 8 years later. We are 8 goddamn years later. Like, it's just not the case anymore. And I have always felt that Cardi B gives Offset relevance. I think if Cardi B and Offset were not together, we would not be talking about Offset. Who's talking about Quavo? Who's talking about Quavo? They're not. They're simply not. And so I think a big part of Offset being a part of our pop culture talks is because of Cardi B. Cardi B 100% elevates Offset. So I would love for Cardi B to go on to bigger and brighter, especially because every 2 days, somebody was saying Offset was cheating. I don't like to bring nobody mess to the timeline, but baby, there's some people who are very invested in Cardi B and Offset relationship, and I just felt like every week somebody was saying Offset was with somebody he wasn't supposed to be, and I'm just like, it's becoming ridiculous. So I would love for Cardi B to move on. Unfortunately, I don't believe that Cardi B and Offset will ever get a divorce. I just think they make up to break up. They make up to break up. They go up to go down. But this could be different. I think you just gotta hold on, hope that this time is different. They're arguing back and forth online. This is also not the first time they've done that. So it's just like you hope this time is different. They just had a beautiful baby girl. Wishing them nothing but the best there. Wish their family nothing but the best. But I just think, in 4 or 5 months, Cardi B gonna be like, I just wanted to have sex and I'm back with Offset, but we not together. That's just how they are. And you know what? I think Cardi B, for the most part, is fun for. I just feel like Offset takes some brightness out of Cardi B's eyes. Y'all feel that way? And we just talking, we just gossiping. We don't know these people. But like, I just feel like with Cardi B, when they on their breaks, Cardi B is just a lot brighter. Cardi B is in Paris for Fashion Week, and she looked absolutely amazing, pulling all different types of look. I want to see Cardi B in her independence. She's always been independent, but I want to see her in her living life, being single, and I want Cardi B to realize she's Cardi B, and she has accomplished so much. Offset, you got to knock it off. Offset, you gotta knock it off. This is not the first time that Offset has accused Cardi B of cheating, and that is rich. Cardi B could sleep with everybody in Atlanta, and it still wouldn't be enough to get her lick back, because Offset, you have played in mama's face 5 too many times. 5 too many times. And she stood by you when many people would not. I already told you, I believe Cardi B has outgrown Offset when it comes to stature. No. Offset over there talking about my family told me not to do this with you. What are you talking about? This doesn't work. I don't know why Offset is online pretending like we don't know what's going down with him. Pretending like we don't know. Like, remember when he was online pretending that he got hacked and was gay because he was caught cheating? Like, this has happened for so long. That y'all won. Remember when he tweeted y'all won? That was forever ago. I think I was still in college when that happened. So please, Offset, you are not the one to do this. I think that's his way of trying to manipulate Cardi B. Like I said, they do this song and they do this dance all of the time. Hopefully this is the end, but this is the last time I will personally be invested. I wish Cardi B nothing but the best. Offset, I ain't never had nothing for you, but I really don't have nothing for you now because you playing around. You playing around, and y'all got a whole family together, and it's just a way that you're supposed to act. There's a way you're supposed to act. There's a way you're supposed to move. Have some self-respect. Number one, if you had self-respect, you will respect Cardi B. That's another big issue with all of this, but nobody wants to get into it. So I just want I wish everybody the best, but Cardi B, we on to bigger, better, and brighter. Okay, let's move on to the next thing. I'm gonna say this in the kindest way possible, but you guys don't deserve the kindest way possible. Can y'all explain to me why y'all are so titillated by people being victims of Diddy? This happens every time something with sexual assault happens. Anytime I feel like sex is involved, you guys get really, really strange. And I think the thing is, it's hard to call y'all out so y'all think, because y'all are going to say that we care so much. I'm just trying to care. I'm just trying to get to the root of it. And if that was the case, I would let you have it. In my last video, I said that there is a way, like, I do not believe we should just give people grace. Like, oh, Diddy was just the only one, that's fine. I don't believe the people in Hollywood deserve that type of grace, that just like whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't believe that is the case. But there is a secret third thing that y'all are doing that really is y'all getting y'all rocks off at hoping, speculating about other people being victims or other people being predators. People taking photos from Diddy's white party and being like, is he in it? Is he in it? People taking song lyrics that could be about anything and being like, is he in it? Is he in it? This is so damn weird, because I know it's not coming from a place of actual care. You guys are not actually engaging with the people who have talked about, what has happened to them. You are not trying to, be a soft landing space for the people who are getting called names by the Diddy defenders and all that. You guys aren't being that. You guys are just searching, because this is another way for you guys to just be a little too into mess. I love mess more than the next, but this is a way for y'all to just be too into mess. I said this same thing about the Nickelodeon stuff, and you guys hoping more people come out, and Ariana Grande needs to talk, Miranda Cosgrove needs to talk, Amanda Bynes needs to talk. No, they don't. This is their life. That is the thing I feel like you guys don't understand. For a lot of people who are victims of Diddy, this is their life. You get to go home and you get to, just be online, tweet all day, make TikToks all day. But some people, this is their actual life. This is stuff that they have been through, and you hoping and begging for people to come out. It's really, really strange. Why do you want more people to have been out here doing god awful things? Because you're titillated by it. It's fun. It's fun for you. This is all a sick joy that you get into this. Like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till more court documents come out. It is very, very strange how excited y'all get about all of this. But like I said, it goes Epstein as well. The Epstein thing turned weird very, very quickly. And like I said, when you say this stuff, it sounds like you're defending horrible things. No, I'm not. I just know y'all are not low. Y'all are not low, and why y'all are doing this is for all the wrong reasons. Another thing I want to bring up, because the conversation has gotten really weird really quickly. You have people being like, oh, you weren't a victim of Diddy. You were just a sex worker. You know what you were getting into. You know what was going to happen to you. How quickly we turn to victim blaming. How quickly we turn to victim blaming when we know we shouldn't. I said this last time. This is what these people bank on. They bank on plausible deniability. They bank on certain people being like, well, Diddy had enough money. He didn't have to do this to people. They bank on that. They bank on you having this huge, you having this huge admiration for these people just because they sing song, dribble ball, or whatever. You have this huge admiration for them. And so you think to yourself, they couldn't have been doing this. They can have sex with whoever they want. And so they start to get plausible deniability. You start to think, hey, it couldn't have been all these people. It couldn't have been all of that. Number one, Diddy is old as hell. It could 100% be all of these people. I believe it is all of these people. He has so much time to do all of this stuff. You know how much time is in a goddamn day? Yeah, y'all don't do nothing all day, but other people gets busy. And so, like, yeah, it could be all of these people. And also, why are you copping please? This goes back to what I said last video, giving grace where grace should. Why are you trying so hard to give grace to people, but where you pick and choose to give that grace is so damn interesting to me. We're already part of this where y'all are calling people out their names, you calling people hoes, you was asking for it. How quickly y'all are so ready to jump to misogyny. I find it so strange. And like I said, now that, okay, Diddy's going under, it's time to, who else? Like I said, y'all are titillated by this type of stuff. The last thing I want to discuss, the WNBA. I am a WNBA fan. I have always been a WNBA fan. I've always said the WNBA definitely in the past 5 years is a lot better than the NBA. And so the WNBA put out a statement about harassment, racial injustice, racism, heckling, and all of that stuff. And it came out last week. And I'm going to say, baby, it's a little too late. It is a little too late. The WNBA season has been fucking miserable. Not because of the sports play, not because of what's going on the court, simply because of fans. We have gotten to the point where you can't even have a regular sports opinion about anything WNBA related without people flooding your mentions with a bunch of mess. And this is just, it's just become absolutely ridiculous. We've gotten to the place where now Angel Reese is being heckled because she knows how to rebound a ball. You have people say now rebounds don't matter anymore. And it's just like y'all don't see how silly all of this is. You making sure you looking into everything. Every single time Caitlin Clark gets tapped, somebody's like, they did this on purpose. They did this on purpose. You have players who are getting horrible emails sent to them being just racist and disgusting. Fans are being just racist and disgusting in the name of what? In the name of what? At the end of the day, Caitlin Clark sitting at home, Angel Reese sitting at home right now. Like, in the name of it, like, just taking the fun away from something that can be so damn fun. I feel that about so many things going on around us. Like, the fun has been sucked out of everything. I like watching Caitlin Clark play. I like watching Angel Reese play. But there are several other players. Shout out to Asia for winning unanimous MVP. Like, and it's just like there's no way to have. I would love to talk about the specificities of Caitlin Clark's game and to talk about Angel Reese's game, to talk about how people can improve, how people can get better. I would like, number one, comparing Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark is so fucking crazy because they don't play the same position, they don't play the same type of game. So even the fact that this is what we have to do, this is even something that we have to go back and forth about. It's just crazy, like fun, like it's just become ridiculous. It's just become absolutely ridiculous. You will talk about Angel Reese having a great game, and then someone will be like, she's not as good as Caitlin Clark. They don't play the same position. Like, why are you not comparing her to someone who plays the same position? And vice versa. It's just because, and you can't even have a sports opinion about everything. Throughout the season, my rookie of the year, it went back and forth, and I'm a fundamentalist. I believe to be rookie of the year, your team got to make the playoffs. So therefore, I was going to give it to Caitlin Clark anyway. The Fever made the playoffs. But it's the fact that you can't even do that, because if I do that, then all of a sudden people are going to think like, oh, it's time to be mean to Angel Reese, and I'm not doing that with y'all. I am not doing that with y'all. Angel Reese doesn't deserve that. Y'all have made Angel Reese rookie season absolutely miserable, and so many other people's lives so miserable because you guys can't not be racist just in time to watch a game. Just to watch a game, you can't turn your racism off. It's just become really ridiculous and really, really annoying. And then you have people being like, well, at least we growing the game. Y'all don't watch anything but Caitlin Clark games. So are you growing the game? Are you growing the game? Like, are y'all still going to tune in? Are y'all still going to tune in right now? Yesterday, did you watch the Liberty versus Vegas game? Did you? So are we growing the game? Or are you just watching this to be mad? And that's the thing. Like, you just are watching to be mad and angry. And why? Why must we turn everything into something so goddamn miserable? Anyways, I will talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.